Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of X4, and today we're going to be talking about the spacesuit and the kind of mission storyline that you're going to head on to unlock your HQ and get research and such and so forth. Well, first of all, before we go on to doing that, I'm going to talk about the spacesuit and the advantages of using the spacesuit over the ship itself. So I've just parked myself out here. I've already found what I'm looking for, but I'm going to go through it with you anyway, as if you hadn't. But first things, let's talk about the spacesuit. So, to deploy your spacesuit, you head back to the transporter here and use spacesuit. Now, spacesuits don't have flight assist. So, as you can see there, I have momentum because I've come out of the airlock, residual air, whatever you want to call it. To stop yourself dead is just the backspace, and you'll stop yourself just like you do with the ship. Very, very useful, because if you're floating around in one direction, you'll continue to go and you can injure yourself by that. You'll also not dock back into your ship if you enter the docking port. You see, you just bounce around, it'll bounce you off everywhere. Just like you do with a ship, you will click on your ship itself, press enter and request docking permission. We'll do that later on, but first of all, let's talk about the suit itself without floating around everywhere. Here we go. Orientate ourselves. The flight controls are exactly the same as you are in a ship. To roll is your E and Q key, W goes up, S goes down, A and D is left and right. Everything is exactly the same for controlling your suit. Now, depending on what your suit has, for us the suit has a repair laser, and generally when you start off you'll have the repair laser. If you go about buying other stuff, the same concept is exactly the same as it would be for your weapons. At the moment, our only weapon option is the repair. See there? I've set the repair on both my primary and secondary, just to show you that it does fire on both. So there's my primary, and there is my secondary. As I said, we've only got the repair laser at the moment. Now, what's the advantages of these spacesuits, and why am I telling you you should use them? If you're in a combat, and you win said combat, and you take your ship to a dockyard, it will cost you to repair your ship. At this early stage of the game, you can't afford them kind of costs. If you take your ship and have damage, you can actually repair your ship with your repair laser for free. That will repair your ship. It also does the same for modules and stuff like that, but module will take you half a year to do. But bear that in mind, it's free repairs. Save yourself some money, especially when you've only got a couple of ships. Go around and repair a couple of your ships. You know, again, saving that cost, keeping your ships running, excellent. Your suit also has a scan mode, which is exactly the same as the ship scan mode, except much more powerful when you get up close to things like data leaks, audio recordings and radio scatter, security bypasses, hacking, all that kind of stuff you can do in your spacesuit. You can do it inside the ship as well, or station, and you'll see a similar pattern appearing on consoles and stuff like that within the station. I'm not going to go through that with you because I have actually checked already, and this station currently doesn't have any data breaches, so I can't show you. It does give you a lot of things like cheap loot. You can sell things at a higher price because you get like a bonus and stuff like that. Some of them are criminal activity, so if you are doing it too many times, you can be caught by them and your reputation is affected, and they can go hostile towards you. Bear that in mind. The external ones, if it's not a data breach, you'll be fine. Sorry, if it's not a security breach, you'll be fine. But there is information and stuff like that that you need, and that leads us on to our first mission on how to get going. Now, hopefully this episode is just going to cover the start of that, and then on the next episode we will talk about setting ourselves up. You may be asking why we're not going into doing trading. At this stage, do not go through trading. You do not have the resources to be able to make good profit quickly. You could potentially cost yourself more money and end up struggling and having to go back out collecting crystals. In the last episode I showed you how to do mining, and that mining is going to generate us some profit. But right now we're in a good position to start our mission off and get our HQ, and from there we can really expand things. So there is a method in madness if you want to do it that way, but you don't have to. Okay, so back to where we were. The next thing I want to show you is how to find the signals that we need. You can do it in spacesuit if you want, but it is a little bit easier for the first one, to do it in your ship. So let's go ahead and scroll into there. And launch yourself in, and we're back in. We want to sit ourselves onto the seat so we have control. Okay, so things to look out for when you're looking for the leaks or signals or whatever it is you want to call them. If you're wandering around the ship, you want to hug nice and close to the ship. And if you just listen there, you can just about hear it. There you go, hear that. There are similar ones like that. They're all roughly around like that. They're usually a little bit louder than that, but this one isn't so loud. You can also, if I just reverse back out a minute, use scan mode. Scan mode is by far the easiest way to spot it because it has some visual looks to it. So you can see that one's sparking everywhere. It's got lightning coming off it. The lightning does show. Oh, I didn't want to shoot. The lightning does come off it even without the scan mode. So we're going to go over to this now, and we're going to start our first mission. Now, this is going to start a little bit of a, not a cutscene, but a little bit of back and forward with a Berean, and then we'll be looking to move on. But for this episode, let's get this done. Let's move our cursor to it, like so. We want to get nice and close. There we go. Communication established. It comes up with this. Now, this always happens with your first audio signal. It plays out exactly the same way every time, so just bear that in mind. Further ones will give you things like missions and stuff like that. Has that just gone off? I think I just lost that, so I may have to look for another signal. That's not a problem. Moving on from there, you will get missions, secret missions and stuff like that from these that you can do, and they can add them to your mission log, and they can get you some good rewards, and they also sometimes unlock blueprints. Now, the Spacesuit will give you higher chances of getting blueprints of modules. These modules here you can get for free by doing them, so sometimes it's a little bit, you know, cool to kind of waste a little bit of time looking for the signals to get yourself some free blueprints, because then blueprints are very expensive. So if you manage to get yourself a decent blueprint, then you're going to save yourself a lot of money. Now I'm going to wander around looking for another audio signal, which we should be able to find on this station, hopefully. Keep an eye out. They don't tend to go where the docking ports are, but we'll check anyway. Nope, there's nothing there for the docking ports. You're just going to wander around like this. Keep your scan mode on so you can visually see it and listen out as well at the same time. I'm going to cut it here until I found the audio signal, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, so it's worth noting, if you get that little thing on the right hand side that says press F, make sure you press the F, because it will more than likely not give you the mission again, and you'll have to roll it back and restart from an earlier point, which is exactly what I've had to do. So I'm now back at the original, one of the original ones, to hopefully what I want it to do. Let's go ahead and let's get closer. Go. I need to get, there we go, a little bit closer. Okay, so that one was a data stream, so we've now got discounts unlocked, which is perfect to show you what you can get. They are only temporary, so make sure you use them wisely. Let's go ahead and you'll be able to find our audio leak. Around, looking for that spark. Keeping an ear out as well at the same time, because if it's above you, you'll hear it as well. Okay, right. Let's head on back over to this direction, because this is where the original one was. Good. Able to see one. See it. Oh. Flashing lights. There it is. This time we will press F. I won't talk about it. Go. Nice and close. I know this is like one moment,
messages were being intercepted by those split fellows. I'm a little disappointed that it was this easy. I don't suppose they sent you, did they? Oh, that would be quite devious.
Okay, so dialogue, you get to respond and whatnot. It's the same story every time. If you've seen my previous guide, it'll be exactly the same. But we'll just run through the first part until he gives us the first task, and then we'll call it quits there.
What should I call them? I suppose captors is quite apt. Employers? They let me work on my own projects some days, you see. Ah, yes, you see, I'm in a spot of bother. I'm in the middle of some important scientific research, which I'm unable to pursue personally from my current location. I'm looking for an assistant to aid me. I'll send the task to your ship computer. This is rather exciting.
Okay, and then it responds to giving you an actual mission, which you want to accept because it's basically the plot story, as it says there, mission type plot. So make sure you accept it, and then we'll leave it there.
Stop them! Wonderful! I have managed to place the device on a nearby docking area. You should be getting the coordinates now.
Okay, right, so we'll end it here. This is the start of the plot storyline, as we've discussed. And we'll go into it, we'll complete the whole story on why we've done what we've done previously to kind of set ourselves up ready to go. We've got a little bit of money behind us, we've got a ship available, and it'll all become apparent in the next episode. Hopefully we'll be able to get that whole mission done. But until next time, everybody, take care for now. And remember, if you need to leave any comments, questions, or anything like that, check out the Discord, or, you know, leave comments and I'll get back to you on anything you need to know. But that'll be us. Bye-bye for now.